again,
Shout out Raheem.
smart.
Yeah.
You know
Doing a
what?
good job.
Blitzing the quarterback all the time.
But usually against great quarterbacks, it doesn't work. And Josh, obviously a great quarterback.
Yeah.
But, Brady, you never wanted to blitz.
Right.
Historically, Mahomes, you don't want
Yes,
to blitz.
Goff is
Rodgers,
good
you don't
against
want to
the
blitz. So
I would
that's
still
rare.
do it.
Say it again?
I would still do it.
Okay, yeah. You cover Travis
it worked
Kelce
last
and you
night.
blitz the quarterback.
Should Bills fans be concerned?
Yes, because they're S-Bob. They're going to make the playoffs, of course. Whether I know you think now New England will win the division.
I didn't say
Maybe.
that. How did you know that?
They're in the,
How did you know that?
They're in the conversation. How about that?
Well,
to win the
they're actually
division.
in first
They're
place.
right now. All right, there's a lot of football left to be played. However, they're going to make the playoffs. That's not the question.
No doubt.
They are Super Bowl or bust. Another year of getting close and losing in the second round, third round, whatever it is of the playoffs is going to rock that franchise even more than it's already been rocked over the last few years. So that's why they should be concerned. And Nick, these last, I would say, 4 games, we thought they looked great against Baltimore. That defense turned out to be terrible up until maybe last weekend. And they still gave up a ton of points to Lamar, which is,
Fine.
Yeah. But after I can't remember.
Jets,
the Jets,
they annihilated
pummeled
the Jets, and they played great.
Yeah, and
but
then
the
after
4
that,
weeks since
Miami, New Orleans, they didn't look great in those wins, and then they've lost their last 2. So they are looking more like the team I thought they'd be last year. Remember last year I was like,
Yes.
oh, they're a playoff team. They're not going to win the AFC.
Yep.
They have no chance. And they came out and surprised us and had a shot. But they look more like that team I expected now. Because I don't think they're phenomenal on paper. They don't have any great wide receivers. James Cook is a really good running back. Top 10 running back, 10-ish, something like
I'd
that.
say higher.
Right?
Yeah.
But their O-line is struggling right now. But defensively, Matt Milano's hurt. And he's a great player when he plays, but he always seems to be hurt. Mm-hmm. They got some good defensive players, but I'm just saying on paper they aren't as good as some of the other elite teams.
He's what makes him
well,
great.
And look, I'm going to put some of it on the O-line. He's been sacked 12 times this year. That equals all of last season. Yeah. And you said the blitz, he was pressured like almost half of his dropbacks last night. But Josh, with all of that explained, is regressing a little bit compared to what he did last year. Last year he had 6 interceptions, 7 turnovers the whole season. In the last 3 games, he's got 4 interceptions and 5 turnovers. So he's looking like the Josh Allen that, was great a few years ago, but was also reckless and could make some bad mistakes. He doesn't look as reckless, but he is making some bad
But also
turnovers.
hasn't looked as explosive. Listen, I'm in a weird spot with the Bills and Josh Allen because the last couple years I've probably been the highest on them of anyone on the show. I thought Danny picked him to go to the Super Bowl, so this year he's higher, but of the 3 of us, the highest. I think he is clearly and unequivocally the second best quarterback in football.
Give it a rest.
I also think he lives in this very weird narrative space where when he's great, you do have measured, respected voices who aren't known for hot takes, saying things such as, quote, no one has ever played the position better than Josh plays it. And when he objectively plays poorly like last night, the narrative is the Bills are letting Josh Allen down.
Dude, Nick does the identical thing about Patrick Mahomes. It's so exhausting. I am genuinely exhausted by this all. I really am. It is exhausting. It is absolutely, positively exhausting. Patrick Mahomes farts. And he's like, no quarterback has ever farted as great as Patrick Mahomes. And then when Josh Allen gets praised for doing similar things, he's like, why is everyone praising Josh Allen? Patrick Mahomes is actually blah, 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 blah. Let me go through the stats and the numbers and explain to you why. And then when Patrick Mahomes struggles, it's, well, Rashee Rice and Xavier Worthy and Travis Kelce has declined. And, there's no run game and blah, 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 blah. And then now when there's some issues with Josh Allen, it's, why do people do this? He's clearly the second best best quarterback in the NFL. That has nothing to do with anything right now. That has nothing to do with anything right now. Trying to rank where these quarterbacks are has nothing to do with anything right now. It's just exhausting. It's absolutely positively exhausting. And I assume NFL Live with Dan Orlovsky is going to do the hard work for me. I'm just going to wait to see what they say, and I'll make a clip if they do. If not, I'm going to do another separate clip really showing some specific highlights and show how consistently this Buffalo Bills team does come up short, and the heavy lifting that Josh Allen has to consistently do, whether it's because of the roster itself or whether it's because of the play calling. Either or doesn't matter. So that's why I assume Dan Orlovsky, specifically in NFL Live, will do that hard work for me, but we'll see. It's the same thing when Patrick Mahomes wasn't playing great in the beginning of the season. It was like, yes, he needs to play better, but also it's understandable why he is struggling or why this offense doesn't look quite right now. But there was also fundamental moments that Patrick Mahomes was throwing inaccurate, whether it was to Travis Kelce, whether it was to Thornton, or whoever it was. You're like, wow, he is making some bad throws, where the commentators are like, wow, I'm not used to seeing Patrick Mahomes miss that type of throw. Like, there were moments when Patrick Mahomes was playing poorly. Crickets out of Nick. Crickets. Okay, and now Josh Allen can have a similar run or a similar aspect, and it's like, what is he doing? He's regressing. No, he's not. He's constantly forced to have to make a play, and yet he's having turnovers because rather than just using his legs, he wants to use his legs to buy time, and you see him. There's times that he can literally get past the line of scrimmage and rip off some yards, but he doesn't. He keeps waiting and dancing and trying his best to do anything he can to just try to push the ball down the field. That is the mistake that I think he is making right now. But it's because he feels that he needs to do that for this team right now. So yeah, the team deserves a ton of blame. To try to immediately do the shell game here and be like, let's have a conversation about why Josh Allen is not really that good and why he's truly the second quarterback. And if you guys want to bring up Super Bowls and MVPs, I'm going to lose my mind because it has nothing to do with anything. Nothing to do with anything. We are talking about fundamentally the quality of play. The quality of play. But it's really great. I do got to tell you, it's really great that, the fact that he's saying this right now is just so ridiculous, where he really has the audacity to come out and say, oh, when Josh Allen plays great, he's the most amazing quarterback ever, and when he doesn't, it's the team around him. That's literally what they do for Patrick Mahomes since 2018, from the jump, okay? He's never to blame for anything. Patrick Mahomes fundamentally played bad in the Super Bowl, and it was like, well, it was the Super Bowl, and well, the O-line, and well, Rasheed Rice wasn't there, and in any other times that Patrick Mahomes comes up short, it's always everyone else but him. And when they win, when Patrick Mahomes throws, a wide open touchdown in the playoffs or whatever it is, it's Patrick Mahomes, not Andy Reid. I don't hear anything about Andy Reid. I don't hear anything about, any of the other players stepping up and making big plays, right? You don't ever hear any of that. And I've highlighted all of those plays in the most important moments, in some of the most important moments throughout the career of the Kansas City Chiefs and Patrick Mahomes. I showed you this was a brilliant play call. This was an amazing run. This guy got this ball 1 yard behind the line of scrimmage and then took it for another 24 yards after that. It's like, I've showed you those moments again and again and again, but those moments always want to be downplayed when it is a Patrick Mahomes and elevated. When it is a Josh Allen or Jalen Hurts or whoever. So you know what? I will credit Nick Wright for being pretty consistent. He ripped Jalen Hurts and said he's a problem, and now he wants to rip Josh Allen and say he's a problem. It's nonsense. It's absolute, utter nonsense. And if you want to say accomplishments as well matter, Nick Wright himself admitted that he's not to blame for the lack of success, specifically in the playoffs, that the defense has absolutely, utterly failed him. Those were his words. So this is always the shell game where it's like, depending on what type of argument I'm trying to come up with, I'm going to use this, or if I'm trying to say this, I'm going to use this over here. It's sleight of hand. Who, his friend Danny Parkins, I still don't even remember what the heck his name is, called him out for it and talked about the sleight of hand. He goes, listen, we both do it. And he's like, and we've been talking about sports for quite some time, so your sleight of hand doesn't work on me. And it's like, well, it doesn't work on me either, because it's pretty obvious. So it's just nonsense. It's just absolute utter nonsense. And this is why I try my best to be as consistently as I possibly can. It's why I even made a whole video proving my level of consistency when we were talking about Jalen Hurts, Patrick Mahomes, Baker Mayfield, Jared Goff, whatever. When you're actually legitimately consistent and don't just make it up and say, I'm consistent, when you're actually legitimately consistent, it leaves you room to say what is actually accurate, what you actually feel is accurate and consistent. And that is why I was very specific, very confident, and very firm when the Kansas City Chiefs were struggling, when they were losing, when Patrick Mahomes was not playing great on paper or even via film, was missing throws, was inaccurate, etc., etc. I was like, Patrick Mahomes needs to play better, but it's understandable for the struggles. It makes sense. I understand it. I still think they're a top team, still think Patrick Mahomes is a top quarterback, etc., etc., etc. And it could be the exact same thing with Josh Allen and the Buffalo Bills. That is called consistency. That's not cooking the books. That's not having a shell game sleight of hand. That's not trying to be like, how dare people praise Josh Allen and how dare them defend him when he's having some poor play. Like, it's just ridiculous. It's obnoxious. It's exhausting. It's annoying, and it's inconsistent, and it's illogical. That's the take. That's the take. And I will do a deeper dive on that specifically. I'm just really hoping, because I am tired, I am fried, I am hoping that Dan Orlovsky and the NFL film, like, they do it for me, because if I have to do it, I got to go through all the film. I have to put all the clips together. And I'm just tired. I'm just tired right now. But yeah, I knew we were going to have this conversation. I knew this is the way how the conversation was going to go. I knew it. And I was dreading it because it's not real analysis. It's not real conversation. I knew it. So I went out and did the Get Up clip for the Washington Commanders versus the Chicago Bears. And I was just like, oh, wow. I was like, this is actually refreshing to hear. Like, this is actually like talking about the game itself and not all just narrative building. And again, that's what Nick did right off the bat. Listen, I think Josh Allen is the second best quarterback in the NFL. That has nothing to do with how this game has unfolded. It has nothing to do with how this season has unfolded. It has nothing to do with anything. That is just narrative. And yeah, people get sucked into it. I get sucked into it sometimes. And sometimes I want to have that conversation. But it is not the time and the place for every single conversation. Which is why I snapped at someone who I enjoy talking with, Sean, if you're watching this, when I was just like, we were talking about something and he brought up Patrick Mahomes. And I was like, give it a rest. We're not talking about Patrick Mahomes. And he was like, I'm having a conversation with someone else right now. Like, pretty much like, let me engage with this how I want to. And I was like, yeah, you're right. I can see that. I was like, me and him had a whole conversation. I was like, you're absolutely right. That's on you. But the reason why is like, I am currently just in real time, as you see, I'm burned out with the constant narrative building this season, because it's just is constantly twisted and twisted and twisted, and it ends up being a lose-lose situation. It ends up being a lose-lose situation. And I think seeing Jalen Hurts and Josh Allen on full display are perfect examples of that, okay? Where it's just like Jalen Hurts misses one throw and throws an interception for the first time in like 300 pass attempts. And it's like, I told you he's not good. 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 But it was constant downplaying of every great thing he did. And now even Josh Allen wins the MVP. He's been playing great, etc., etc., etc. People are just amazed with some of the things that he's doing this season. He then has a couple rough stretches, and it's like, how dare anyone ever compliment Josh Allen? He shouldn't even have the MVP, etc. And it's just, like I said, it's exhausting. It's ridiculous. It really, really is. It's just ridiculous. Ridiculous. But those are just my thoughts. I'd absolutely love to hear yours. What do you guys all think? Should the Bills fans be concerned? Is it clear that Josh Allen just deserves lots of blame and shouldn't actually really get the levels of praise that he's gotten in the past? because he's overrated. Not that good. Let me know in the comments below. I read every single comment. So whether you agree with me or disagree with me, either way, let's get in some discussions. Let's get in some fights. But ultimately, let's just have some fun. And please do consider subscribing. We are building an amazing community here, and absolutely love to see you part of it. I'm going to build something that we all generally feel connected to. Something that we're really excited to be part of. I think we're well on our way to doing it. Please don't forget to give this video a thumbs up, as it really does help with the visibility and the algorithm. Thank you so much. See you next time.